Tony and Jennifer wants to empower your family about franchise.
It really is a no-brainer. In fact, I'm getting ready to talk myself into getting another group or two because
I'm so excited about that.
Hello, everybody. It's Tony Harris Taylor and
San Diego. Then you ran me down here in Dallas. So I had.
Hello, everybody. Today is Friday, August the 12th, and we are super excited to be here. Tony and Jennifer introduces franchising. Welcome, Jennifer. How are you today?
I am doing well, Tony. Thank you. How was your week? I know I had a fantastic week, and I think we can share in that enthusiasm because we were together in Houston.
Yeah, before we get into that, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Tony Harris Taylor, and I'm a sales and marketing coach with drastic results marketing and sales coaching, where I teach my clients how to get known, get connected, and get paid. I'm also a multi-unit franchise owner. I cannot believe I'm saying that, with Network in Action. And we had our first international meeting this week with my leaders. OMG. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I'll tell you about that.
I am Jennifer Callender. I am a certified franchise consultant based here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I help my clients get into franchise business ownership. And I also assist small business owners who are looking to grow and scale by transitioning their model to franchising. And I have been busy as well. So I have a new brand. I don't know which hand to raise, but Ingenious Franchise Solutions is my new brand. And
my new website.
My new website is ingeniousfranchisesolutions.com. I am so excited. I don't know if my old brand, I just couldn't resonate with it, but now I am walking into this new brand and I am so excited in how
go ahead.
I'm excited about how I show up and how I can be able more position myself to service my clients.
So I was on your website.
Okay.
I don't know this, but I was snooping around looking to see what is Jennifer up to. I am so proud. I am so proud of your site. Yes, I am. It is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. And Larry, fellow NIA member who
right.
did the work with you.
He did my automation. Yes.
And so he's super proud. And he's the one that said, you got to go check it out. So I love it.
If you are a small business owner and you need help with automating some of your processes to free you up to work on your business and not in your business, Larry is your guy.
Yeah. So speaking of the NIA,
yes,
three of my 5 leaders, which you're one of them, but 3 of my 5 launched yesterday.
How was that?
First meeting. It was amazing. 4 Canadians, 1 person from Saudi Arabia, 1 person from China. I'm not playing. I am taking NIA International, and I have the team partners to do it. When I tell you, I was so proud and so excited to see my dreams coming to fruition, knowing how hard it's been.
Yeah.
It's just exciting. But to meet people from Saudi Arabia, come on now. Yes. And so we're excited.
That's amazing.
We're going to get into our guest. Today, our guest is Jack Monson of Eulerity, but he is also known as the Social Geek. He has a great podcast. He has a face for video, but he chose radio because his voice is sultry, just sultry. I love listening. And we had the privilege of being on his show individually. and we are now welcoming him to our show. Let's bring to the stage our friend Jack Monson, the man in black, like Johnny Cash.
Yay! The crowd goes
Hello.
wild.
Wow, with that introduction, can I join you every week? I need that kind of confidence builder on a Friday. That's terrific. Thank you so much.
We are glad to have you here. We met you and solidified our connection at the Franchise Customer Experience Conference.
Yes.
And it was just like love at first sight, wasn't it, Jack?
It was. I am usually the person who's working those rooms the hardest, and then I saw two people who were working the room way harder than me, and that was the two of you. So I think that there are some people who go to those shows. Tony, you and I chatted about this afterwards a little bit, who just kind of stand around and people watch and enjoy themselves and maybe see a few friends. And then there are people who are there to network and make a difference in other people's lives and bring value. And that was the first thing I thought when I saw both of you at that show. So it was great meeting you there. And I assume that we'll all see each other at the Franchise Leadership and Development Show that the same group is putting on in October, I believe. Same place.
I talked to the franchisor this morning about it, and I'm told him you have no choice. You have to be there. So
it really is the best networking in the entire industry throughout the year is at that show in October. So if anybody's on the fence, just jump off the fence and meet us in Atlanta.
All right. I'm planning to be there myself. So looking forward to it. So Jack, give us a little overview. Who are you and what do you do?
I do a lot of things. Right now, my main focus is a company called Eulerity, which has been in franchising for a few years. It's a technology company that works primarily with advertising and some other types of content with franchisors and franchisees. And it was founded by some really smart people who worked at a couple of small companies like Google and Facebook. You may have heard of them. And they put together this amazing technology like nothing I've ever seen before for franchisees to literally pull out their phone and find content, create an ad, take an ad that the franchisor has already created for them and share it with their audience and share it with their potential customers. And I was so amazed by this technology and just how well it was put together that I said, I think we need to work together, guys. So that's been about a year now that I've been working with Eulerity. And we've got a great growing team, still growing. If anyone is looking for an opportunity in sales and marketing and account management, we are growing like crazy. We've taken on a lot of new clients. And it's going to be a great rest of this year and a great next year with the folks from Eulerity, I think. So on top of that, I also do a lot of content creation and podcasting. Thanks to both of you for joining me over the past couple of weeks on Social Geek Radio. We're approaching 1,000 episodes on Social Geek. So that's going to be fun. I'm not sure what we're going to do for episode number 1,000, but we should start planning that soon. I've been doing that for several years. And before that, I was in radio and some other marketing type positions in and around Chicago for many years before that.
Awesome. So Social Geek Radio, why that name?
I didn't come up with it. A couple of friends of mine, Deb Evans and BJ Emerson, created the show about 14 years ago. And, it was another one of those things where I heard the name and thought, I want to be involved in this. I think they really nailed it. If you think back 14 years ago, there weren't really a lot of people in franchising doing much in social media or definitely not in podcasting. I think there was only one other franchise-related podcast at the time. And they were just in such a ground floor position that I started joining them for a few shows here and there. They both ended up wanting to go on and do some other things in their careers. So I took over hosting Social Geek by myself several years ago. But they were really sort of the innovators in the space when a lot of franchisors were not even on Facebook yet, or not even on LinkedIn yet. So it was something that we hit early, and then, we just sort of did our work and did podcasts every week for many years, and then suddenly podcasting became popular. So we were kind of in the right place at the right time with that. But it's a lot of fun. It's a labor of love. I mostly talk to folks nights and weekends, and I spend a lot of weekends editing podcasts and things, which I'm sure both of you do as well. But it really is a labor of love.
We are one take and done. If we don't hit it on the
Whatever
first
happens, we're live.
Wow.
we are live. Whatever happens, happens. We do not edit one thing. Ain't nobody got time for that, Jack.
You have much more professional guests than I do sometimes, so I have to pull things in a little bit with some of our folks. But no, I'm just kidding about that. It's but it really is something I just love doing. I've been working in radio since I was a teenager, so this is just sort of a natural fit with franchising and podcasting now.
Yeah. Let's go back to Eulerity.
Yeah,
There are a lot of companies in the franchise marketing space.
there sure are. Yeah.
So what makes Eulerity, what's y'all's market dominating position as
That's a great question. The thing that stands out that no one else is doing right now is literally having it on a franchisee's cell phone. And so many great platforms out there, great reporting software, and the ability to create a Facebook ad or manage your Google account or something like that for a franchisee. But what I think the Eulerity folks got right is franchisees should not be sitting in an office on a laptop or a desktop computer, right? If they're not working in the business, Jennifer, as you said earlier, they need to be outdoors working on their business and meeting with customers and on the go. I've never met a great successful franchisee who, spent most of his or her day sitting at a desk, right? They're usually in their car somewhere, or they're on the move. And with this app that Eulerity developed, the franchisee doesn't have to be connected to a desk. And they can just pull out their phone, pull up an ad, decide which ad they would like to use today to promote whatever special they're doing or whatever campaign they want to do this week. And they can do it all in, as I like to say, about the same amount of time as it takes to order up an Uber. And they can do it right in the palm of their hand and spend, 1 minute on it at the beginning of the week, and then move on to work on their business and talk to customers and grow their business in other ways. There are a lot of agencies out there that do that sort of thing for you. And I'm not knocking them at all, because there are some terrific agencies in the franchise space. But I do see this as something that a lot of brands are bringing more in-house. And instead of hiring an agency, which is not getting any cheaper these days, being able to do it in-house, if you've got the technology that can help you and assist you and make some of those decisions for you. How many dollars do we want to put on Google today versus Facebook or Instagram? Well, we've got software that can actually do that more efficiently than hiring a person to do that for you. So it's really the technology, the mobile capabilities, and like I said in the beginning, our founders knowing how Google and Facebook and some of the other networks really work, and I think it's something new and exciting. For so long, franchisees were forced to just take whatever the franchisor was doing and replicate it or duplicate it, and that works great if you're a corporate owned chain, Walmart, Starbucks, something like that. But franchising is different. And I think a lot of marketing and advertising people have never quite understood that you're not just talking to, someone who represents the brand out in Iowa or Kansas or Texas. You're talking to someone who owns their own business, and they need to be able to be empowered to make certain decisions because it is their business. They're representing the brand, sure, but it's their business, and they need to be able to decide how much money we're spending, what are we saying in these messages that are going out on social media, and really putting that power in the palm of their hands. So I think that's why there are some really great marketing pros in franchising. I've had the pleasure of working with many of them because they do understand that about franchising, that it isn't Walmart and it isn't Starbucks. It is local people owning a business in that market. They know the market better than the brand does.
Sure.
They know customers better than the brand knows the customers. So I think that's the difference. And when you see some of our colleagues in other companies in franchising who've been around for 10, 20 years, that they get it. And they're serving the franchisor and the franchisee because they understand how franchising works.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's a definite differentiator for sure. And Jack, when you think about where you are right now, I love hearing, what you're doing with Eulerity, and then couple that with Social Geek. Are you stepping into your vision for yourself that you thought could be, or what does that look like now?
It's interesting. Everything I always sort of envisioned didn't happen, and that's a good thing because everything I'm doing now didn't really exist 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? There was no technology enabling small business owners to this extent. It just didn't exist until someone created it 5 years ago. And podcasting wasn't what it was, or back then we had no idea how big podcasting was going to be. 15 years ago, we had no idea how big social media was going to be. So for me, the real question is, what do the next 5 years look like? What do the next 10 years look like? After that, I hope to be sitting on a beach somewhere. But for the next 5 or 10 years, what's that next level? What's the next podcasting, right? What's the next social media? A lot of people think it's the Metaverse and Web 3.0. And I'm getting deeper and deeper into that right now from more of a research standpoint than really becoming a practitioner. But I do want to enter that world pretty soon. And I want to bring a lot of franchisors with me. Really, what's the next step for radio or audio or whatever we're going to call it 5 years from now? Podcasting, I think, will still be very popular, but it will be different. It's different than it was 5 years ago. So I'm spending more time this summer getting ready for the fall like I usually do, but I'm also getting ready for the next 5 years and really exploring what that next big jump is going to be. Will it be the Metaverse? Will it be Web 3.0? Will it be a new way to podcast? Whatever it is, I want to be, out in front of it and at least be someone who can help franchisors and other brands access it and get involved as well.
Okay, so don't leave us behind.
Oh, you're coming with? Are you kidding?
Okay. Yes. So please take us with you because I like personally being an early adopter, and I just don't have time to do all the research. So just when you say it's time to go, just call us. We
okay. We'll do TJIF in the Metaverse, and I think we joke about that, but I think it would be pretty easy to do. You've developed. For both of you, you've developed this brand and you both have a great personal brand. And I think that's the first step before getting into a new platform or a new type of media is having that brand. Tony, you joked about me wearing black. I of course I'm wearing black. I don't own anything else anymore. But that's the brand I've developed, you know.
Right.
And the same with both of you. There are things that your colleagues and customers know about you that they just come to expect. And I
Yeah.
think when we're networking, whether that's in person in Atlanta or Houston, or whether that's in the metaverse someday, I'm not really sure what our avatars are going to look like, but I guarantee mine will be wearing black.
Yeah.
And Tony, yours will have some very cool glasses, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, we will sort of extend our personal brands into whatever that next social platform looks like. So
That's a
keep
great
going with
point.
your brand and keep going with the
Yeah.
TJIF show, because you're one step away from being in Web 3.0 for this.
And then allowing people to experience you in a different way, right? I
That's
think
a really
that's
good
it.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I think one of the things that is exciting about whatever's coming next is exactly what you said, Jennifer, allowing people to sample your brand, meet you, learn a little bit about you. Maybe they expect certain things, but when they see you in person or virtually, they're going to learn something else. And allowing people to experience your brand in somewhat of a controlled setting, right? You know, when we meet people in person, it's terrific, but you can't always control, you know, how everything's going to go. Something always goes wrong at one of those shows, right? There's always some chaos that
Yeah.
happens, right? But if we can experience new people that we're networking with, and maybe a new customer, if we can experience them in this setting that we've created, and the background looks exactly how you want it, and the sound is exactly how you want it, and the music sounds exactly how you want it, then they're actually experiencing you and your brand in the purest form.
Yeah. And so that leads me to, what are you seeing out there with franchisors, franchisees in early adoption of this whole new metaverse Web 3.0, and having their customers experience them in a different
Yeah,
way?
it's very experimental right now. There are some food companies who are getting into it that I find that interesting, because the one thing you can't really do is taste the food. But you can learn about the brand, and I think a lot of the larger food franchises just want to be, you know, sort of on the leading edge of whatever the next cool or hip thing is, so
Right.
they're involved. But I am seeing some fitness brands getting involved and doing virtual workouts. And think about that, or anything else that you could do virtually from your home. If the pandemic taught us anything, it taught us how to do things like that, right?
Mhm.
Think about workouts, or even people working with a business coach, or working with a franchise consultant. There's no need to fly across the country.
That's
If,
right.
Jennifer, they could sit down with you and have a very interactive conversation that's even more interactive than what we're doing right now, or over the telephone. Um, that could lead to things like franchise systems doing all of their discovery days
That's
virtually,
exactly right. Their
right?
tours, all of
Doing
that.
a tour. Imagine
That's
spending
cool.
a day in the life of a franchisee and seeing everything that they're seeing, the good and bad, right?
That's right.
And seeing all of the things that they do in a typical day running their business. Because I think that's what candidates are most interested in, right? Is seeing, what's my life going to look like?
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's one thing to read it in a printed document. It's better to see it on a video, but imagine really living that in some sort of metaverse environment.
Ooh,
I
I
think
just got a glimpse
yeah,
of,
yeah,
you know, somebody having their day in a life, and they're at
Yeah.
headquarters, and then they go over to somebody's location sitting
right.
right here in the, oh my gosh, that's
That's
amazing.
powerful.
right.
That
That's
is
a
powerful.
powerful message. Yeah.
And then they go home and enjoy their family and their life and
Right.
their time. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Wow. You just whet my appetite for that. Well, Jack, we are out of time already. So tell
Yes.
everybody how to get in touch with you.
You know, the best way is on LinkedIn. I, like both of you, I'm on LinkedIn all day and all evening. So if you want to reach me about anything, Jack Monson, Monson, we can talk about Eulerity or podcasting or anything else you want to talk about. Reach me at Jack Monson on LinkedIn.
That's easy enough. And yes, he is very responsive on LinkedIn.
Yes, he
Well,
is.
Jack, we want to thank you for giving us time on your show and then I feel like I'm cheating you because you got both of us at one time.
Not at all.
So, and we look forward to seeing you. I hope to see you in October because I do feel like that is the one conference that for sure we need to be a part of.
Absolutely.
And then I also think you will introduce me to people, places, and things. Jennifer, you going?
I'm going. I'll be there. And thank you, Jack, for allowing us to peek into your world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Have a great weekend.
You
Awesome.
too.
All right, another great episode. Jack is awesome.
He is.
I would like to mention our FraserNet experience. So you want to talk about that?
That was an amazing experience. Tony and I were in Houston last week. We spoke on franchising there and to a crowd of thirsty people, thirsty for that information. And it was, for me, my first time attending the Power Networking Conference, and I had an amazing first experience. And I could not have chosen anyone to have that experience with more so than Tony. And Tony, I just thank you for the invite. I think that what we have established is a platform for moving forward with that conference. And, I don't know, I can't say any more than how amazing it was. Not only for me speaking, but me as an attendee, being in the room with such powerful individuals.
So I loved it. I love sharing it with you. I knew what it was like, but I knew that you would love it as well. And also being on stage with you was wonderful. Yes. But the highlight of the conference for me was receiving that beautiful award back there. Power Networker of the Year, Female Entrepreneurs of the Year.
And she so deserved it.
Oh, thank you. It was such an honor, and I'm so grateful for Dr. Fraser recognizing my work. Yes. So we want to invite you to download your 7 steps to franchise ownership. Just go to tjifshow.com, download that. If you are interested in learning more about franchising in general, Jennifer will be in touch. If you want to know about NIA, I will be in touch. And we are here to help you to explore what's possible with franchising.
That's right, Tony. And I am Jennifer Calendar. I help my clients get into franchise business ownership. If you are interested, please reach out. We are here to support you and to support your journey.
Awesome. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is Tony Harris Taylor.
And this is Jennifer Calendar introducing franchising for today, tomorrow, and forever.
DJ, I am sure.